Hello, my name is Miss Miller, and today we'll be talking about comparing size. Essential question. How do we compare objects to determine size? Standard. Compare lengths to identify which is longer, shorter, taller, or shorter. Vocabulary. Long. Having greater than usual length and distance or extending for a considerable distance. I typically like to describe long as left to right, or if our students aren't aware of their left or right yet, I usually say side to side. Tall, of considerable height or high in stature. And I typically will describe this to students as up and down. Short, not tall or high, or having little length. And to show short, I typically will do it in a comparison format. So here we have tall, and I'll show it this way as short. Here we have long, and I'll show it this way as short. Activities. So some activities you could create for students, and potentially with this activity they can create it themselves, is just using paper. And here you have construction paper, and the students could cut it into longer or shorter strips. And once they've cut them, you could find this sheet on Teachers Pay Teachers, and the students can sort the pieces that they cut and glue them on. Or you can laminate paper and have them sort it without gluing it on, so you could reuse the activity. You could also use straws. You can use straws to create taller and shorter activities or longer and shorter activities by just turning the paper sideways. So here you have Play-Doh, and the students place straws within the Play-Doh and place flowers on top. Here you have construction paper where there's just simply lines drawn on, and the students would place on the longer or shorter pieces, or taller and shorter pieces. You can also use twigs. You can use twigs and mats that can be found online for who is taller, who is shorter, and then place the pieces in sequential order from shortest to tallest, or from tallest to shortest. In addition, you could use a number line or ruler and do the same thing. Place it from tallest to shortest, or the other way around based on your directions, shortest to tallest. You can also use popsicle sticks and have pre-made boxes. So here you would have all of the popsicle sticks, and you would have a longer or taller box depending on which way you positioned it. You could stand it up for taller, lay it down for longer, and here you would have shorter, and the students could sort and place them in the appropriate boxes. You could do the same thing with ribbon. You can cut one long piece of ribbon into smaller pieces to make taller or longer and shorter. The same with our pipe cleaners, as well as necklaces and beads. You can also use Lego, and students can stack the pieces of Legos again to make the taller and shorter. You can use blocks and sheets of paper. Students can create trains. You could also use this in a pattern format to make longer or shorter patterns. And here we have Unifix cubes, and the same, shorter and taller. Some resources you can use: YouTube. And on YouTube, you could search for taller or shorter. And look through the videos to talk about and find what best meets your needs. You could also search for long and short as well. So depending if you're talking about height or length. TeachersPayTeachers.com is a great resource. You'll find many printables that you can laminate and create usable or reusable activities. So here I search for short and long, and I included measurement because sometimes they'll come up with short and long vowel sounds. So you definitely want to indicate that you're seeking measurement. Then I sorted the price in ascending order to look at the free items first. And here there's a caterpillar long and short name activity. So you could potentially do that with your class to see who has the longest and shortest name. Here, if you're looking for a template that you can laminate, and student can sort different items, ribbons, blocks, Unifix cubes. They can stack it there and create. And you can continue to search based on what needs you have for your students and the type of activity you'd like to do. You can also use GetEpic.com for virtual books. And here I search for long and short. Here's one book. And it just talks about different objects and items that are long and short. You can also use MathGames.com. And I search for tall and short. And students can play a game in answering the questions. And there's typically a small ad at the beginning to help keep these things free for us. It's usually about 30 seconds or so. Before it goes to the game. Which is taller? The student would click on the item that is taller. They receive a check. Which is taller? And they would continue to answer. So again, this is mathgames.com. You can also use wow.boomlearning.com. And the same here, tall and short. You can drag the word to match the picture. So this provides a bit more rigor. Once they are able to find the items, now they can focus on the words in the text. So here, this is tall, drag and drop, and short. Submit. Short, tall, and so on. You can also use Liveworksheets.com. And here I search for tall and short. Try this one. And it has the speakers, which means the students can press it and hear what they're supposed to look for.
Tall.
Tall, so they would press it. Press the speaker again.
Short.
Now we're looking for short.
Tall.
Tall.
Short.
Short. Students will press finish. Check my answers. Go back to the top and receive their score. In conclusion, long meaning having greater than usual length and distance or extending for a considerable distance. And I typically describe that again as left to right or side to side for our students who aren't aware of their left and right yet. Tall, of considerable height or high in stature. And I typically describe that as going up and down. Short, not tall or high or having little length. Math Games, YouTube, Wowboomlearning, Teachers Pay Teachers, Epic Books, and Liveworksheets have great activities and videos to teach long and short or tall and short. Thank you for watching today.